Hi there guys, Sammy. I'm really sorry to do this, but we've had a last minute change to the pattern after I'd already filmed the video. So when you hear me say 2 single crochet in the chain space, you're actually only going to do 1 single crochet with the exception of the beginning and end chains, which will have 2. Thank you. Hi there guys, welcome back to Beyond the Cowl. You've got Sammy here. And today we are going to be doing the textured puff stitch for week 15 of unit 1. Now, if you are doing this as a standalone stitch, you're going to want to chain in a multiple of 4 and then add 2 onto the end. We're not doing a row of single crochet to start. If we're doing a foundation stitch, I've just done one so I can demonstrate the stitch, whether you're doing a standalone or adding to a blanket. So adding to a blanket, you're going to do a row of single crochet into the top of your work. Gives you a chance to make sure that your stitch count remains the same as your starting chain, and also a nice fresh flat row to get the full effect of our new stitch. So there are adjustments in the pattern which I will mention as we work through. If you are working with the standard 120 or 240 stitch count. Let's begin. So if you're doing standalone, you've got a chain that is a multiple of 4 plus 2. You're going to single crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. Working into your blanket, you're going to chain 1, single crochet into the same first stitch, and then we're going to repeat this pattern until there are 3 chains or stitches left at the end of our work. So we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch and single crochet into the next 3. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next 3. Okay, we've repeated that chain 1, skip 1, 3 single crochet pattern until there are 3 stitches left, or 3 chains left. So we're going to finish out by chaining 1, skipping 1, and popping a single crochet into the last 2 stitches to finish out our first row. There we go. Now, going to chain 3, and turn, and then we're going to put a puff stitch into the chain 1 space. Now there are a lot of variations on how to do a puff stitch, but for the purpose of this pattern, this is the one that we're going to do. Now if you're finding it's too much of a yarn eater or it's stretching out your project, you can always cut down the loops, but I'm going to show you the way that's listed on the pattern. So we're going to yarn over, going into the first chain space, pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. We're going to do this 6 times, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 13 loops on my hook, so you can see it's quite chunky. Now I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 13 loops on my hook if I haven't done them too tightly. Out you come. Oh, I can feel it. 13 loops is a lot, and I've caught one. There we go. Okay, through all 13 loops on our hook, and that's our first puff stitch. From there, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2. We're going to do a front post single crochet around the second single crochet in our set of 3. Chain 2, and then puff stitch into the next chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and pull through all 13. Chain 2, and front post single crochet around the second single crochet in the 3 set of 3 from the row before, and then we do it all again. So we're going to repeat that pattern all the way across, popping our puff stitches in. At the end, instead of doing a front post single crochet, we'll end with a single crochet in the beginning, chain 2, and we'll be turning ready for round 3. I'll see you back here soon. Okay, our first row of puff stitches is complete. They're gorgeously chunky puffs. I do love them. We are ready for row 3. So we're chaining 1 and popping 2 single crochet, popping 2 single crochet into the chain 2 space. Chaining 1 and 2 single crochet into the chain 2 space. Chaining 1, 2 single crochet into the chain 2 space. So we're repeating that pattern all the way across. Chain spaces will have 2 single crochet, stitches will have a chain space above them. So we're squaring off and getting ready to add our next row of puffs. I'll meet you back here for row 4. Okay, we're back and at row 4, ready for our next row of puff. So we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to do a front post single crochet around the puff stitch 2 rows below. So we're inserting from the front to the back around the puff, yarning over, pulling up a loop, yarning over, and completing our single crochet. I'm going to chain 2 and pop a puff stitch into the chain 1 space here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yarn over through all 13 loops, chain 2, and front post single crochet around the puff stitch from 2 rows below. Then we chain 2 to begin the repeat of that pattern. Now we're going to repeat that pattern all the way to the end. After our last chain 2, it will just be a single crochet into the first single crochet of the previous row before we turn ready to do row 5. I'll let you guys finish that second row of puffs and I'll see you soon. Okay, 2 rows of puff stitched down, and aren't those big chunky puffs just gorgeous? Now ready for row 5, so we're chaining 1 to turn, and then doing a repeat of row 3 where we'll put 2 single crochet into the chain space, chain 1 over the stitch and 2 single crochet into the chain space. So a nice simple repeat all the way back to the other end. I'll meet you back here for row 6, which will be the final row in today's tutorial. I'll see you all soon. Okay, ready for row 6. So chaining 3 to turn, putting a puff stitch into the chain 1 space, three, 4, 5, 6, chain 2, front post single crochet around the puff stitch 2 rows below, chain 2, and back to puff stitch into the chain 1 space. Three, 4, 5, 6, through all 13, chain 2, and front post single crochet around a puff stitch. So continuing with this pattern, you'll repeat rows 3 to 6 until you've got your desired size. Of course, you can break those rows down for your temperature blanket if you choose. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you love this chunky puff stitch as much as I do. I can't wait to see if you all go with the recommended yarn overs for super chunky puffs or cut them down a little bit, and what your colour combos are. Until next time, have a fantastic day and happy hooking!